there. Week 17 predictions and the playoff standings, and we're going to go over those in a little bit, but let's just have a quick recap of this past week. The Titans beat the Redskins, eliminating the Redskins from the playoffs. Chargers lost to the Ravens, keeping the Ravens' playoff hopes alive. My Cowboys clinched the division beating the Bucks. The Browns beat the Bengals. Vikings beat the Lions. The Colts made a comeback against the Giants. The Dolphins lost to the Jaguars, eliminating them and giving the Pats the division. Pats beat the Bills. My upset pick did not happen as the Jets got grounded by the Packers. Texans lost to the Eagles, giving the Eagles hopes alive, but the Texans did make the playoffs, and I'll say why in a minute. The Falcons beat the Panthers, the Rams beat the Cards, the Bears beat the 49ers, the Saints beat the Steelers, which could eliminate the Steelers. Seahawks beat the Chiefs, and the Raiders got their what could be the last home win in their stadium against the Broncos. So 10-6 this past week. For the season, I'm 144, 94, and 2. I don't remember to write that down when this is done on the pick list. But let's go to the playoff standings. We're going to go to the AFC first. Right now, the number one seed is still Kansas City. You know, their loss in Seattle cost the Chiefs a chance to clinch AFC West and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They still control their fate and can lock it all up with a victory this week over the Raiders. But a loss combined with a Chargers victory would navigate the Chiefs all the way to the 5th seed. Now, Patriots, who are 10-5, it wasn't pretty, but the Patriots' victory over the Bills propelled them back to the AFC number 2 spot after the Texans lost to the Eagles. And the Patriots did clinch the AFC East and now control their path moving forward. They can lock up a first-round bye with a victory in Week 7-10 and even a chance at the number 1 seed overall if the Patriots win Sunday and the Chiefs and Chargers both lose. That would bring a semblance of normalcy. The Patriots have not played on wild card weekend since 2009. They could actually still be dropped to the wild card game if they lose and the Texans win. Speaking of the Texans, even with Sunday's loss in Philly, the Texans clinched a playoff berth by virtue of the Steelers' loss. The Texans can win the AFC North with a win this weekend against the Jags. A loss would leave them as a wild card entrant, with the winner of the Colts-Titans game clinching the division. The Texans win on Sunday, they get a home game and take on the winner of the Colts versus Texans. And if the Texans lose, they would be going to either Indianapolis or Houston. Getting to Baltimore, suddenly the Ravens have control of the AFC North. The victory Saturday night in Los Angeles combined with the Steelers' loss means they will win the division with a victory in Week 17 or a loss by the Steelers. Steelers play the Bengals. Ravens play the Browns. Now, who would have thought that a late December game involving the Browns would create so much weight? If the Ravens lose and Steelers win, they will play the Chargers or the Chiefs at home. So if Ravens win, they'll be playing the Chargers or the Chiefs at home in Baltimore. If the Steelers win, the game will be in Pittsburgh. Chargers. Now, Saturday night's loss weakens the Chargers' chance to win the AFC West and home field advantage. Even with the Chiefs' loss on Sunday night, the Chargers will have to root for the Chiefs to lose again in Week 17 and home against the Raiders to have a chance. And then, of course, right now, the 6th seed, all the Colts at 9-6. Sunday's comeback against the Giants combined with the Steelers' loss put the Colts squarely in the playoff. Beat the Titans Sunday night, clinch a playoff spot. Now they can also clinch the AFC South with a win and a Texans loss. Now still alive is the Titans, 9-6. They're pretty much the same boat as the Colts. Winner of the Colts Titans goes in. Loser is on the outside looking in, unfortunately. And of course the Steelers do have a chance, but it's not a great one. They need to win and hope the Browns beat the Ravens. Now the Steelers could theoretically still get in as a wild card team, but Steelers would have to win their game, and then the Colts and Titans game would have to end in a tie. I don't see that happening. And then in the NFC, Saints, who are 13-2, the NFC will go through New Orleans. And that the last time that happened, that the Saints won the Super Bowl. So we'll see if that happens again, because the Saints have not lost a home playoff game. They actually do hold the tiebreak over the Rams, so they got that. Rams right now, the 2 seed, they can still get that first one by with a win or a Bears loss this weekend. So there's a chance the Rams could be a wild card team, but we'll have to see what happens. Speaking of the Bears, they are the 3rd seed right now, can do no worse than that. But like I said, they can move to the 2 seed if they win and the Rams lose this weekend. Now Now, had the Saints lost, the Bears would have ended Week 17 with an outside chance to actually clinch the top seed. Alas, that did not happen. My Cowboys are the 4th seed no matter what. They are the NFC East champs. They'll be hosting the 5 seed on Wild Card Weekend, which right now is the not the Saints, excuse me. Right now, which is the Seahawks. But, well, yes, the Seahawks did clinch a playoff spot with the win defeating the Chiefs. Their seeding is yet to be determined. A win or a loss by the Vikings will lock them in at the 5th seed facing Dallas. However, if the Seahawks lose and the Vikings win, the Seahawks would be moved to the 6th seed and they would take on whoever the 3rd seed would be at that point, which most likely it's the Bears. Now, getting to the Vikings. The Vikings did their part Sunday by winning in Detroit, but were not able to clinch the playoff spot because of the Eagles' victory over the Texans. So they move on to Week 17, needing a victory or an Eagles loss to ensure a playoff spot. The Vikings are also still alive for the 5th seed and would get there with a win combined with the Seahawks loss in Week 17. Here's the thing now. The Seahawks play the Cardinals, Eagles play the Redskins, and the Vikings play the Bears. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And still alive are the Eagles. The Eagles need some help. They would clinch the wildcard spot if they beat the Redskins and the Vikings lose to the Bears, which could happen. So Eagle fans, don't give up hope yet. And your top 5 teams as of right now for the draft order. 5th pick will be the Lions. 4th pick will be the Raiders. 3rd seed are the Jets, Jets with the 3rd pick. 2nd pick are the 49ers. And the Cardinals are right now the number 1 pick. They can lock that number 1 pick up with a loss to the Seahawks. So expect the Cardinals to tank, as it were. Now getting to the picks for this week. I got the Dolphins taking over the Bills. I think Dolphins are going to get a little bit of pride left in them and build towards the future. Bills look like they're more worried about draft stock at this point. Packers take on the Lions. Both teams, particularly Green Bay, disappointing this year. I think the Packers are going to win this game, turn it around, then they're going to build for the future in the offseason. Lock of the week, it's the Patriots taking on the Jets. I'm taking the Patriots here. They want that 2nd seed. You know, the Saints already have the number 1 seed locked up. They're playing a Panthers team that doesn't have Cam Newton. So I'm going to take the Saints. I don't expect the Cowboys to start any of their starters, at least not for the most of the game, because the Cowboys are already in the 4th seed no matter what. So they may rest some players, but I'm still taking them to beat the Giants. The Buccaneers play the Falcons. Falcons, again, another disappointing team. Will they win my award for most disappointing in the NFC? We'll see next week. But I got the Falcons beating the Bucks. Texans take on the Jaguars. I'm taking the Texans here to win the division. Chargers take on the Broncos. I'm going to take the Bolts of Los Angeles. The Chargers, I think they're going to shock the Broncos into submission. Chiefs play the Raiders. I'm taking the Chiefs. I think the Raiders, well, what they've been, I'm surprised the Raiders have been wanting to win games. You pretty much cannot get the number 1 seed, I believe, at this number 1 pick at this point. Plus, remember, they're also getting the Bears and the Cowboys picks, but Bears and Cowboys, they're going to be somewhere near the end of the first one because they're both in the playoffs. I got the Rams over the 49ers. 49ers, I think they're just waiting. They want this season to be over with because they have had injuries at the yin-yang. They want this season to be done. My upset pick, I have the Vikings over the Bears. I think the Vikings, who are playing for their playoff lives, want to get in there, and I'm going to take them to win it. Bears, I think somebody's going to be watching the game for the Rams, and if the Rams look like they're going to win, the Bears will probably just be like, fuck it. Steelers over the Bengals. Seahawks over the Cardinals. Eagles over the Redskins. But if the Vikings win, that game does not matter. I have the Ravens over the Browns. And the big Sunday night game that decides the final spot for the AFC, I have the Colts over the Titans. Those are my official picks for this week. Let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree? And until next time, if your team's in the playoff, congratulations. If not, good luck next year. See you real soon, everybody.